Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, Owl, and Tigger set out on a violent rampage to Ashtown, Christopher Robin's childhood town, to exact revenge on him for disclosing his existence to the world. There are some films you watch for pleasure, and then there are those you endure out of sheer obligation. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 falls firmly into the latter category for me, as the second installment of the Twisted Childhood Universe, or TCU, a franchise that I have absolutely zero interest in. This video covering this sequel only exists because I reviewed the first film. My completionist tendencies got the best of me, forcing me into another round of unbearable slasher antics with this poorly executed horror retelling. And believe me, after hearing that there are 4 more films planned for 2025, with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 3 scheduled for 2026, I find myself questioning the moral fabric of humanity. What sins have we committed to deserve this cinematic torture? Let me get this out of the way. I do not care one bit about the Twisted Childhood Universe. The first film was a disaster, and this sequel is only a very slight improvement, both in terms of quality. And when I say slight, I mean just enough to not be a complete train wreck, but still a dumpster fire. The fact that there's an entire slate of upcoming films within this so-called universe is devastating to my core. I'm all for filmmakers exploring their creative visions, but when your passion translates into this level of mediocrity, I beg of you, stop. Just stop. Please, for the sake of everyone. Stop giving them money to make more of these movies. Let's play devil's advocate for a second. If by some miracle, the rest of the TCU entries show massive improvement, genuine passion, effort, and quality, then sure, I'll be first in line to support it. But based on the sheer incompetence of the current 2 films, I have zero faith that this will happen. As things stand, continuing to support this franchise financially only encourages more of the same lackluster, half-baked horror schlock. Now, credit where credit is due. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 does offer some improvements over its predecessor. Visually, it looks significantly better. The production value has clearly been upgraded and it's noticeable. The filmmakers seem to have learned a bit from the first movie's grainy, amateur-hour visuals, which made it look more like a college student's final project than a professional film. This time, the scenes are cleaner, the settings more atmospheric, and the overall presentation has a slight air of professionalism. If you squint really hard, there's also one standout moment, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but the rave scene, it's kind of fun. Amidst all the dull, lifeless moments that make up the bulk of this film, this sequence feels like someone finally decided to let loose and inject a bit of creativity. The lights, the chaos, and the absurdity of it all create a brief but enjoyable break from the monotony. For a fleeting moment, I thought, okay, maybe this could be fun. Then the rest of the movie happened, and that hope was shattered. But despite these glimmers of hope, the film quickly collapses under the weight of its numerous flaws. The kills, for instance, are repetitive, uninspired, and utterly predictable. For a slasher film which lives and dies by its creative kills, this is a fatal flaw. If I am watching characters I don't care about die in unimaginative ways, what's the point? In Blood and Honey 2, there's no tension, no build-up, and certainly no memorable moments of horror. It's just one bland death after another, to the point where it feels like the filmmakers are going through the motions rather than crafting something engaging. On top of that, the film wastes the potential of its darker themes. The idea of exploring Christopher Robin's twisted memories could have added some depth to the narrative, but it's half-baked and poorly executed. There's so much potential here to explore the psychological horror of nostalgia gone wrong, but instead we get a superficial glance at the concept before it's abandoned in favor of more mindless slashing. At the end of the day, Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 is trash. There's no other way to put it. It doesn't matter that the visuals are better or there's a mildly entertaining rave scene. The lack of creativity in the kills, the shallow characters, and the overall sense that the filmmakers are just cashing in on the shock value of turning beloved childhood characters into slasher villains make this film an utter failure. If you're going to take a risk and turn a cherished children's story into a horror movie, at least put in the effort to make it good. This feels more like a lazy attempt to ride the cocktails of nostalgia without understanding what makes a horror movie effective. I cannot stress this enough. Stop giving money to these films until they improve. The box office success of this movie only incentivizes the filmmakers to continue making low-quality entries. Financial success does not equal creative success. If the filmmakers put real effort into the rest of the series, and there's a marked improvement in storytelling and execution, then by all means support them. But until then, supporting this franchise only guarantees more trash like Blood and Honey 2. If this is the future of horror, we as a species have failed. That's my opinion on Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2. Do you agree with my thoughts? What are your thoughts on the film? Let me know in the comments. Please drop a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.
Ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set the rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs.